Hey everyone, it's Joseph here again with another video. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I am a business owner. I run a video production company in Brisbane, Australia. And over the last couple of years, I've been doing a little bit of documenting my journey over this season of life on this YouTube channel from the moment I moved to Brisbane about 3.5 or almost 4 years ago now at the time of this recording. And I've been trying to document the journey ever since. And so there's cameras on the table here because I just finished an unboxing video for this Canon C70 and I thought it looked pretty cool. There's some props here, so I thought I'd just keep them on the table. Anyway, actually just watched a video from a friend of mine who's also running a production company up in central Queensland. Shout out to Levi Appleton, and subscribe to him as well. And it kind of motivated me to do another one of these update type videos as well for my channel, as something that I have kind of lost a little bit of consistency with over this past year for good reasons, because work, the actual business, has been coming first in terms of when I have time to do work, and I haven't had as much time this year to record YouTube videos just because of that reason, no other reason. He's been starting again to record updates on his channel. And I thought, you know, we keep each other accountable in general around our businesses. And so why not do the same thing on our content on our YouTube? I'll try to match him and attempt to do an update every month and see how it goes for accountability's sake, and to continue to document this journey. Because if you go all the way back to the first video posted on this channel, it was genuinely documenting the start of this now 4-year season of my life, from moving to a new city with no contacts other than a little bit of family, and trying to start a business with no business experience at all, not taking a job and trying to figure out how to make it work. And almost 4 years later, we're still going. And I guess the point of continuing to document the journey is to, I guess, firstly show that it's possible, show myself that it's possible, remind myself of some of the journey and the wins, and have something to speak from when it comes to sharing my story down the line, no matter where and when it is, that I can point back and say, this is what I was doing at this point of the journey, this is what I was doing then when I started, this point now. Maybe my kids, future children, one day will be able to look back and say, hey, maybe dad actually did some things when he was this age. But this marker of life for me at the moment, I'm 30 years old. I turned 30 at the start of the year. And like I mentioned, my main focus throughout this last couple of years has been starting and growing my video production company. There's been a lot of things that have happened along the way. And for me to continue documenting it, I want to get into more detail about some of the issues that I've faced, the problems and that I've been solving, the wins, the state of the business at the moment, and I guess any learnings along the way. So I don't really know, this is an unscripted video. I don't know where it's going, what's going to come out. But I watched one of my previous vlogs from September in 2021 when some of the biggest things were happening to really push some extra growth into the business. There's 2021 now, and we had started working with some bigger clients and had at that time had recorded our biggest months of revenue in the business, and I had just taken on my first employee. Well, a year later, I now have a team of 3, including myself, and our business is doing fairly decently. We turn over several $100,000 a year at this rate. So we're pushing into a genuine small business, and I do have some goals that we are working towards as a business in terms of turnover, in terms of the kinds of people that we have within the team, the kind of work that we're doing, and I'm just continuing to refine that each and every day. At the moment, with the 3 of us who are sitting in our office every day of the week, we have kind of capped out on our capacity in terms of what we can do. So we've already been relying on a lot of freelance resources when it comes to our shoots, which is great. But now we're tackling some of the challenges of, can we do the same thing with our editing, or do I look at hiring some more team members to be in-house? Because our processes at Brown Fox, which is my video production company, have been very strict, and so I haven't really tested a remote workflow yet. But we're in the process of doing that. But yes, in terms of some of the goals coming out of 2022, heading into 2023, there's definitely a lot that I need to clarify for myself in terms of the actual goals for the business. And that's one of the things, I've learned a lot about myself and the way that I operate as an entrepreneur. And that's been a lot recently due to working with a new business coach who has really helped me to learn about myself. We've done some things such as the eDisc profile and wealth dynamics, which are two different, learning self-awareness tools that I've kind of learned to identify how I operate myself as an entrepreneur and where my strengths lie. And so just identifying some of those traits and knowing that the people around me need to have certain traits themselves in order for us to have a strong team. And thankfully, I feel like we do have that spread between the people who are involved in our business at the moment. And so we're pushing. We've got some big goals. My first business coach helped me to develop a growth plan last year that projected close to $1 million in turnover at the end of 5 years. And so at this stage, we are in year 2 of that general plan and we're relatively on track. And I guess it's just one of those North Stars. It's not going to be the final goal or anything, but at least it's something that mentally we can keep working towards. But at the moment, just continuing to work with my current coach has helped me to identify how to build a team to help us all get there and actually, figure out what it is we really do want to do. I mentioned to the guys in my team that we've hit an inflection point of sorts that I've recognized where although the majority of our work does come from word of mouth and it still continues to be that way, there is a lot of opportunities that are now coming because I think Brown Fox has built a strong reputation over the last couple of years that our ideal clients are starting to reach out and want to form referral partnerships. For us, that's marketing agencies, web design companies, and even the overall caliber of and stage of business that our clients are in is starting to become more like what I feel we should be working and aiming towards. So that's one of the growth learnings that I've had in this year is just understanding that really we can't genuinely serve everyone best. We have a demographic that we'll work best with based off the pricing model that we have, based off the type of work that we do, the type of corporate storytelling that we prefer doing and we feel like we're strong at. And I've identified, elements that I can bring into the business that require no filming at all, like creating video strategy. That is another thing that I've developed my own skill set over the past year. How can I create other revenue sources within the business that don't require me or anyone else needing to actually hold a camera to start with. With that in view, and again, not really knowing where this video is going, I guess the next season is just continuing to build the team's capabilities so we can deliver on the time frames that we say we're going to do and continue to push the bounds of work that we are chasing. I want us to actually start to do what would be considered high-end brand commercials in this next year. And I know that from having several conversations with people in my sphere, I know that is not the easiest thing to get into, but it requires us actually having to show that we can do it. And one day, we knock on the right doors or the right opportunity comes about, if we have a piece or a couple of pieces that show that we can tackle these commercials, if someone's willing to give us a shot and we do a good job, which I want to make sure that we always do, then I'm confident that we'll get into that type of work eventually. This year has been a really big growth spike for me personally as a business owner and operator. I've come to understand more about what I actually enjoy doing and what it is that I feel my own growth trajectory will be within what we do. And I know that long term, it means that I can't be the only one holding cameras and I can't be the only one in post-production. We've already worked on that with a small team, but as I continue to grow and as I continue to go forward, I've always described my experience as like being in a funnel, but in reverse, where at the very beginning of the journey, I just saw like the tail end of the funnel, just survival, just straight ahead. All I could see was how do we keep going? And as longevity starts to take place, I see the funnel start to expand and I see all kinds of opportunities coming, and it's now a matter of determining which ones do we feel like are the best opportunities and how do we want to direct the business to be something that is what I want it to be. I'm not in this just for money, even though that's something I want to talk about in this channel. Genuinely in it because I feel like I've got a purpose behind being in this position at this time in my life. And it's just exciting to see something that was started with no experience to actually have its own life and start to take off. I feel like this point in time is where the wheels feel like they're coming off the ground a bit, and we're actually starting to be in the air in terms of just the sheer amount of connections and body of work that we have. And so I'm excited to start seeing that flight occur and making sure that we're steering in the right direction. So with all that being said, that's, I guess, a general update of where we're at in our business at the moment. And if you do want to follow along, I'll keep trying to do my best to do monthly updates. And if you would like to know anything in particular about business operations within a creative business, then I would be more than happy to chat. And I'm excited to maybe answer some questions or just continue to know what people want to hear about this journey. I'm not just going to be talking about technical things like the fun stuff of gear. There's so many channels out there that do that really well. For me, I'm interested at the moment in building a video production company that becomes in the top echelon in Brisbane and potentially internationally. So that's where we're heading, one day at a time, just one day at a time. So please comment below if there's anything you'd like me to discuss on a future video, any questions you might have about just what I'm doing or anything you want to know, any topics. I'm open to talk about whatever. Marketing, sales, product development, operations, finance, people, anything that's within that sphere of business, I'm more than happy to chat about, because figuring it out one day at a time, just like everyone else is. And excited to keep documenting this properly. Please give a like if you made it to the end, and subscribe for more of this type of content. And I will see you guys and girls on the next video. We're out.